did the quiet clap. You are sitting in your square. Miguel is in his square. Jerome is in his square. He's not going to bump up against anyone. Hands are to yourself. Miguel's hands are to himself. Marvelli's hands are to himself. Eyes are on me. Montronique's eyes are on me. Madison's eyes are on me. I am so excited to read a new story with you. So before we begin, I want to make sure everyone remembers what our expectations for the rug are. The expectation is you stay in your spot for the whole read aloud. You keep your hands and feet to yourself so no one else gets hurt or bumped into. And you control your voice level by when it's my turn to speak, making sure your voice is off. When another friend is speaking in the room, giving them attention with your eyes and your mouth so that they can be heard. The story that I'm going to share with you today is called Separate is Never Equal. Now, before I actually open up this book and we talk more about this, I have a question for you. Can you think about a time when you weren't allowed to do something? Think about a time when something you really wanted to do something, but because of who you were not able to do it. I'll tell you what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of a time when I was in 4th grade and our school was having a musical and I really wanted to sing a solo. And so I went to audition for the solo and they said, oh, sorry, this solo is only for girls. And I felt really bad. I felt disappointed and I said, that's not fair. Just because I'm a boy, I can't audition to sing in this musical. When you can think of a time when you really wanted to do something, but you weren't allowed to do it because of who you were, show a silent thumb in the air. 1, 2, 3. Montronique, share a time when you felt a certain way when you weren't allowed to do something.
When I was in kindergarten, I wanted to
A little bit louder so everyone can hear you.
go to a dance, but it was only for 6th grade.
The dance was only for 6th graders. How did you feel when you weren't allowed to go? You felt angry. I can imagine feeling angry too, just because you weren't old enough. Miguel, when was a time when you weren't allowed to do something? Your eyes are on Miguel. Justin's eyes are on Miguel. London's eyes are on Miguel. Jaden's sending him some love, so make sure everyone's paying attention to him.
One time, my sisters went to a party, and I said that I wanted to go, and they said that it was only for girls.
And how did that make you feel?
It made me feel sad.
Well, I want you to keep to...
But my sister said, don't worry, I will bring you a necklace for you won't have to be sad, and she did.
Well, that's nice of her. If you didn't get a chance to hold on to that thought, then you're going to get a chance to share that with me later today. But what's going to happen in this book is this book takes place in California in 1947. Now, let me tell you a little bit about California in 1947. At that time, the schools were segregated. The schools were segregated. What that means is that they were separated. Mexican kids went to one school and white kids went to a different school. They couldn't go to the same school. Let me finish my turn first, then you'll get a chance to respond. They were segregated. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think that's fair? That Mexican kids had to go to one school and white kids had to go to a different school. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs down that you don't think that's fair. So we're going to read this story called Separate is Equal by
Never equal.
What did I say?
You said separate is equal.
Oh, you guys caught me. Separate is Never Equal by Duncan Tonata. And let me finish my words first. Antonio's level 0, waiting to hear what I'm saying. Jessica's level 0. Miguel, you're choosing to talk. When it's level 0, you're choosing to move your clip. Move your clip and come back and join us. In this story, Sylvia and the Mendez family, they're gonna do something when they couldn't go to public school. As you read this is your thinking job. Look at the target. The target for this read aloud is, we can describe how characters respond to events and challenges. Read it with me.
We can describe how characters respond to events and challenges.
One more time, London, read it really loud. We're going to follow with our eyes.
We can describe how characters respond to events and challenges.
Disco cheer for London.
That's it. I like it.
Body check back to me. Justin's in a silent body check. Miguel's in a silent body check. Jaden's in a silent body check. Okay? Let's see. Your eyes are on me. You're level 0. London's level 0. Jerome's level 0. Let's keep reading this, and we're going to describe what the characters do when events and challenges happen. Sylvia had on black shoes. They were shiny new. Her hair was perfectly parted into 2 long trenzas. It was her first day at Westminster School. The halls were crowded with students. She was looking for her locker when a young white boy pointed at her and yelled, "Go back to the Mexican school. You don't belong here." For the rest of the day, Sylvia did not speak or introduce herself in her classes. She kept her head down when walking in the halls. When she got home that afternoon, she told her mom what had happened. "I don't want to go to that school anymore. The kids are mean." I'm going to stop for a second. I think a major event has just happened in this story. I think a major event has happened. Boy, is there a problem, Jasmine? And will you take Jasmine back down to the nurse to fix it and then come back? In this story, the boy yells at Sylvia, "Go back to the Mexican school. You don't belong here." I'm going to write down how the character responds. When the boy yells that at Sylvia, the text says, for the rest of the day, Sylvia did not speak or introduce herself in her classes. Sylvia is silent. Sylvia is silent. She doesn't say anything. So I know how she responded to the event. Now let me describe Sylvia. What does this tell me about Sylvia? If she is silent all the time, I think that means that Sylvia is scared and confused. I don't think that she expected to go to a school. Eyes are on me. Vanessa's eyes are on me. Jan's eyes are on me. Seneca's eyes are on me. I don't think she expected to go to a school and have a boy tell her to go back to her Mexican school. Sylvia is scared and confused. Let's keep reading, and you guys can help me figure out the next one. Hold on to that thought till we get to the next major event. Miguel's eyes are back on the page. Jerome's eyes are back on the page. Jimmy's eyes are back on the page. Thank you, friends, for helping someone who's not feeling too good. Let's go show your mom. Sylvia, her mother said, "No sabes que por eso luchamos. You don't know that is why we fought? 3 years earlier. So now we're going to go back in time. Hands are to ourselves. Now we've showed some love for our friend. But hands are back now. We're going to go back in time 3 years before this happened. So we just read this thing. This just happened here at the school. She said, go back to your school. Now we're going to go back in time. Show me back in time. We're going to go back in time 3 years before. And we're going to see how we got there. 3 years earlier, in the summer of 1944, Sylvia and her brothers, Jerome, just like you, Jerome and Gonzalo Jr. and their parents had moved to the crowded city of Santa Ana, California, to a farm nearby in Westminster. Her father, Gonzalo Mendez, had labored for years as a field worker, picking grapes and oranges. Now he was leasing a farm. He was going to be the boss on their new farm. They were going to grow asparagus, chilies, and tomatoes. Your eyes are on the book. You're sitting up in a body check. Your legs are crossed. Hold on that thought, Miguel, we just gotta get to the next event, then you can share your idea. As the summer came to an end, the first day of school neared. Aunt Soledad drove Sylvia and her brothers and their cousins, Alice and Virginia, to the local public school on 17th Street so they could enroll. When you enroll in a school, it means you sign up. You can go there. Sylvia was going to enter 3rd grade. Gonzalo was going to 2nd, and Jerome to 1st. Wow, then Jerome's in 1st grade, just like our Jerome. What a handsome building, thought Sylvia as they pulled into the parking lot. Tall trees lined the street in front of the school. There was a playground with monkey bars and a red swing. When they walked into the school, they noticed that the hallways were spacious and clean. I'm here to enroll the school children, said Aunt Soledad when they arrived at the principal's office. The secretary gave Aunt Soledad 2 enrollment forms, one for Alice and one for Virginia. But she did not give her enrollment forms for Sylvia and her brothers. I wonder why. They cannot attend this school, said the secretary. They must go to the Mexican school. Why do I have to go to the Mexican school? Sylvia wondered as Zucchinius thinking, keep that thought in. She was not Mexican. She was American. She spoke perfect English. Her father was from Mexico, but he became a U.S. citizen. Her mother was from Puerto Rico, which that was a U.S. territory. And Soledad was upset. But we all live in this part of town. Sylvia looked at her cousins. They had light skin and long auburn hair, and their last name was Vidari. Their father was Mexican, but of French descent. Then she looked at her brothers and her hands and her bare arms. She wondered, is it because we have brown skin and thick black hair? And our last name is Mendez? Rules are rules, said the secretary. The Mendez children have to go to the Mexican school. I will not be enrolling any of them, said Aunt Soledad, and she stormed out of the office, taking Sylvia and the children with her. Let's pause for a second. Something major has just happened. The secretary tells Aunt Soledad that Sylvia and her brothers have to go to another school. Think to yourself silently, how does the character respond? When the secretary tells Aunt Soledad that Sylvia and her brothers, they can't go to this school, but their cousins can, think to yourself silently and show me a silent thought when you can tell me, how does Aunt Soledad respond when I get to any 340? Parent.
She responds because they the latest thing.
Soledad.
matter what skin you are. It don't matter what skin you is. You could be best friends like they
You just did your thinking and your pairing. Sanat, share with what you talked about with your partner. 1 second, Sanat sharing. All eyes are on Sanat. Loud and proud. I have to shut the door, but just talk really loud and proud so I can hear you.
My idea is they were born that way. That's why. When they're born that way, that doesn't mean they can go to different schools.
I agree with what you're saying, Sanat. Let me ask my question again. What does Aunt Soledad do? What does she do when they tell what Sanat said? And I talked to Marvelli, who told me the same thing. It was unfair just because they had different colored skin. What does Aunt Soledad do? London. Soledad. Uh-huh.
She was mad. She was mad because Sylvia couldn't go to that school just because she was a different color.
Yeah, so did she let the other kids go? Jaden, do you want to add on?
Yeah.
1 second, make sure you have everyone's attention. I see some people might be looking. Your eyes are on Jaden?
But me and my partner said it don't matter what color you is. It don't matter what color you is. You could be like if I'm like the kid and Ken was darker than me and he didn't let me go to the school, but it don't matter what color you is. It's like if you speak Spanish, if you speak Spanish, wait.
Keep going, I'm listening.
But sometimes it don't matter what color you is because you could be together. Cause like Sylvia and her cousins they are cousins and still they like the Sylvia and they still cousins.
So it sounds like you guys agree a lot with what Aunt Soledad thinks. She didn't think it was fair, so Aunt Soledad took all the kids with her. Was she going to let just these kids go to school just because they had lighter skin?
No.
Did she think that was fair?
No.
So she took the kids and said, well, we're not going to take any kids to our school if the kids who have darker skin can't go here. So they all left. And what that describes Sylvia or Aunt Soledad as is Aunt Soledad, she is fair. She's fair and she also gets upset when things aren't fair. So this event just told us something about Aunt Soledad. There's a knock at the door. Let me grab this. Is it all bandaged up?
She said if the other two bandages don't work, then she gonna call my mom.
Okay, you know what I'm going to add to the point of the board here? I saw that Leila, when she saw Jasmine was really, had her injury, that Leila took her down to the nurses to take care of her, and even during the read aloud, she was taking care of her. That really is showing some serious love and responsibility, okay, for both her and Jasmine. We're at 14 points, okay? Now, Jasmine and Leila just walked out of the room, so can someone just summarize what we just talked about? What did they miss before we move on to the next event? Marvelli, tell Jasmine and Leila what they missed with Aunt Soledad. Everyone else is showing if they agree or have a different idea. Go. Marvelli, do you want to explain or do you want to give that to someone else who can support you? Pick Jaden, support.
So when we were just doing like they what's that girl name?
This one, Sylvia.
Sylvia tried to nut school.
I remember that. I'm joining in Greece sign.
It went up wrong, but some of her cousins could go because they light and
Oh, they have lighter
Sylvia
skin.
is dark. So and they if they can go, but Sylvia can't because they think Sylvia is not American.
So how did Aunt Soledad react?
She react
Jerome, your hands into yourself.
She react upset because everyone should go to school with each other.
So she's a what kind of character?
She is a fair character.
Fair character. Jaden, will you help me do a quiet clap while I fix my marker? Let's raise the roof for everyone who contributed to this. I can't wait to pick this back up tomorrow or on Monday and figure out what's going to happen with these characters now.